Good morning, viewers. We are standing here before an incredibly frightening scene as the river waters continue to rise rapidly in Gyeonggi Province, where torrential rains have poured down throughout the night. Floodwaters are sweeping away everything in their path, threatening to submerge the riverside communities. Emergency evacuation orders have been issued, but time is running out. And the biggest question now is, can those who are trapped escape in time? Stay with us as we follow the dangerous developments. Dear viewers, this is a terrifying scene in one of the hardest hit residential areas by this historic flood. The streets have now turned into rivers, vehicles are submerged, and people are struggling to escape from their homes, which have been engulfed by the rising waters. With the current rainfall rate reaching 75.1 millimeters per hour, rescue services are doing their best. The situation is becoming increasingly severe. The heavy downpour continues, and this means that the risk of floods and landslides will only grow more dangerous. We are following the rescue team in the Pao area, where 2 residents remain trapped in a flooded house. The swift currents are making the rescue efforts extremely difficult, and every passing second is a life or death struggle. The brave firefighters are doing their best to reach the house before the floodwaters sweep everything away. The situation is incredibly tense. Will they be able to save the residents before things take a turn for the worse? It doesn't stop there, dear viewers. This nightmare is becoming even more terrifying as rocks and mud pour down from the rain-soaked hills. In Yeongju, a devastating landslide tore through a retaining wall, causing it to collapse onto a house. Fortunately, 2 residents managed to escape, but the house is now nothing more than a pile of rubble. The ground is saturated with water, and landslides could occur anywhere, at any time, leaving thousands of people living in constant fear. In other areas, the damage is just as severe. As you can see here, an entire neighborhood has been submerged by floodwaters. In Osun, 887 residents have been ordered to evacuate immediately, as overflowing streams threaten to sweep away their homes and possessions. Roads have been completely destroyed under the pressure of the floodwaters, cutting off critical access routes and disrupting the entire transportation system. This is truly an unequal battle between humans and the fury of nature. At 8:50 this morning, a series of flood warnings were issued for major rivers and streams in the area, including the Ra River and Osun Creek. These once calm waters have now turned into monstrous torrents, engulfing everything in their path. Local authorities have sent emergency alerts to thousands of residents, urging them to evacuate immediately. However, not everyone has been able to leave in time. The situation is becoming increasingly alarming. The main transportation routes leading into Seoul and Gyeonggi Province have been completely paralyzed. The Dongbu Expressway, a vital artery connecting Gyeonggi and Seoul, been closed due to severe flooding. Even Seoul's subway line 1 has been temporarily suspended, leaving thousands of morning commuters stranded. Public transportation and highways across the country have been severely impacted, and at this point, authorities have yet to propose a quick recovery solution. Dear viewers, behind me is the Jamsu Bridge, one of the crucial routes connecting both sides of the Han River. However, the bridge has been completely closed after the water level exceeded 6 meters, submerging the entire bridge surface. Rescue teams are currently assessing the bridge's safety, but the swift currents pose a significant risk of collapse. All vehicles and pedestrians have been instructed to stay away from this area. In southern South Korea, flooding situation is equally severe. In the provinces of South Cheongcheon and Gyeongsang, more than 560 people have been forced to leave their homes to seek safe shelter. Many of them have yet to return home and are currently staying in temporary relief centers. With floodwaters continuing to rise and no signs of improvement, the number of evacuees is likely to increase further. Another disaster has just occurred in the town of Tongbak-dong. Early this morning, a landslide destroyed part of the town, burying many homes and businesses. As you can see, the earth and rocks have cascaded down rapidly, engulfing everything in their path. Residents were evacuated in time, but the damage is unimaginable. This rubble is just one of many examples of the devastating power of nature. Rescue teams are working hard to save victims from vehicles submerged in floodwaters. Near the Masen Creek area, the rescue team quickly reached and saved 4 passengers from cars swept away by the flood. These vehicles were completely submerged and have now become useless metal shells. Thanks to the swift intervention of the rescue team, no one was seriously injured. However, with the rain continuing to fall, we fear that incidents like this may become more frequent in the near future. We are currently at the Emergency Operations Center in Seoul, where authorities are coordinating efforts to respond to the increasingly critical situation. The Korea Forestry Agency has raised the landslide alert to its highest level in many provinces, and disaster management teams are working tirelessly to minimize damage. With the forecast indicating that heavy rain will continue through the weekend, the situation remains extremely serious. Rescue operations along the banks of the Han River are being carried out with great urgency. Key bridges such as the Osan-Tapong Bridge in Osan and the Bakian-Hunan Bridge in Yeoju are being closely monitored to prevent the risk of being swept away. As you can see, rescue teams are working tirelessly to protect the infrastructure from the destructive force of the raging waters. But the relentless rain is making their efforts more difficult than ever. As we move into the evening, the rain shows no signs of stopping. While the loss of life remains low, the damage to property is extensive and continues to rise. Landslide warnings, flood alerts, and the risk of power outages are spreading, leaving people across South Korea to face the night with extreme anxiety. Stay tuned with us for further updates on this unfolding disaster.